All right. Good afternoon and welcome everybody to What Keeps You Up at Night? Challenging times during, I didn't get that right. Reza, I got to get better at this. Entrepreneurship during challenging times. That was the worst one I've done so far, but let's just keep it at What Keeps You Up at Night. And my name is Colin Weston. I am the community leader for Startup Vancouver, which is one of over 40 chapters of Startup Canada across the country, and the voice for the over 3 million entrepreneurs in this great land of ours. So I am going to share my screen here to do a quick intro before we get into our guests, which you can see everybody on screen here, but just hang on here tight here for a second here for everyone. So I was joking with Reza earlier. You think doing this the 7th time I've done this now, you think I'd be better at it, but obviously there's still room for improvement here. And where is it? Gee, now it's even hiding on me here. All right.
In the meantime, thanks for the people who are joining us on Facebook. Share it with your friends. This is the half an hour show that's quick and it's the lunch breaks. So join us on the...
I should have brought my lunch with me, apparently.
There we go. There we go. All right. So hopefully everybody sees the screen there.
We got it.
All right. So we're good to go. All right. Oh, I went past it. Gee, my timing is so off today, as we always do. How's everybody hanging in there today during these times? Hopefully everybody's slowly, bit by bit, increasing their bubble size as far as their social distancing, maintaining that, but being able to hang out with some friends and start getting back to that first step of the life that we previously knew, gosh, almost 3 months ago here. So you don't know what Startup Vancouver and the good things that we do, the best place to connect with us is through social media. We're very active, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and also LinkedIn. And one thing that we've done since now, this is our 7th show, our 7th episode of What Keeps You Up at Night. We're putting all our previous shows up on our freshly minted YouTube channel. So you can also find us there if you want to watch some of the previous episodes. And I've even gone back to watch some, and I enjoy them. Really engaging, always learn something new. One thing I wanted to mention also is being entrepreneurs in British Columbia, even though now we have a national audience here with the show, that on Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific, we have the Canny Awards, used to be the Startup Canada Awards. They changed the name. So it is the BC Awards. So the 5 regional awards that they have over the next month, the BC Awards are going to be celebrating entrepreneurship and innovation in this province of ours. So please join us for that. We'll include the link also, and also on social media, you can actually find the links. We're posting that also. So today on the show, along with my fabulous co-host Reza V, we'll introduce in a minute here, I have Lisa Pelzer, who's the co-owner of Hot Yoga 101. I've known Lisa for many years. Gosh, Lisa, as we'll get into, I've been practicing for about 15 years and knowing you for most of that chunk of time. And with Itay Shechter, I've known Itay also through some of the previous events with Startup Drinks and other great things we've done. We're both involved in the sport technology, sport innovation space. You may not think that's even a thing, but surprise, surprise, it is. So in a way, this is kind of an all sports episode of What Keeps You Up at Night. I didn't even think of that, but it actually is. And to get serious for a second here, we do have a charity sponsor that we donate any money that people do donate here on Eventbrite. It's not mandatory, but we encourage you to do so. And this is jack.org, which is a national nonprofit that is an advocacy group for mental health awareness for youth. And last month, we raised $215 in May. I'm going to donate that at the end of the show today. And we're really hoping that in June, we can break that number and raise even more. And as Reza has been had to succumb to listen to, I always sing a little song at the end as a bit of a shout out. Thank you to the people that have donated. And I'm going to do that today again. So as I mentioned, I have Lisa on from Hot Yoga 101 Vancouver. So we're going to talk about what they've done here. Very interestingly, how they very quickly transitioned and what they're doing now in the studio, which they just opened up for the first time yesterday. And then with Itay, also mentioned, who is the founder of Vanywhere. So he's going to talk about that. And I'm not going to talk about that. Actually, my good friend and co-host Reza is going to do that. So I'm going to stop sharing now, and I am going to hand it over to Reza.
Hi, everyone. My name is Reza. I'm the founder of OVU, which is helping professionals better present themselves and connect. I'm here with Itay Shechter. I've known Itay through Startup Vancouver, actually, thanks to Colin and hosting wonderful events. I met him a few months ago, and now we are co-hosting a podcast together. So I've known Itay for a bit, and we've been doing that together. He's the founder of Vanywhere, connecting creators online to their fans on one-on-one access, and he's helping them monetize that. Itay, tell us a little bit about how throughout COVID, I've known the ups and downs Vanyware gone through. You even got more engagement, and you got a round of investment that was amazing. Tell us how that happened, how COVID affected Vanyware.
So, being in the online Zoom type of space, I mean, not really Zoom, but everyone's stuck at home. People are watching more YouTube, people are watching more Twitch. And what Vanyware does is we connect the content creators on those platforms with their fans. So a lot of fans are bored in boredom right now. A lot of creators are looking for new ways to engage, to do something interesting, and they can just connect on Vanyware and have a conversation. So we see an uptick in usage actually throughout COVID. And in parallel, getting to this type of environment, being stuck home all day, trying to think, okay, I cannot go to the office, I cannot go to event, what can I do? The initial things I started thinking about is, first of all, okay, let's leverage my existing connection, my existing network. And, that combining with the uptick in usage for Vanyware and the fact that we are able to attract new and exciting creators, I think what enabled us to secure an investment during this time period.
Nice. And you and I talked about this, how during COVID, instead of looking for new connections, we're deepening our connections with the existing ones. What can the entrepreneurs who are listening to this, what can they learn from your experience throughout COVID, and what's the takeaway for them?
I think value your network, deepen the relationship. We spoke about it in our last podcast. But one of the tools we had to deepen relationship with some amazing people all over the world was actually the podcast. Believe it or not, existing connections of mine, existing connections of Reza, everyone's on, and we are able to do 1 hour conversation with top CEO and investors and whatnot. I don't think we were able to do that without having that platform. So that was amazing. But I encourage people to do the same, not necessarily with a podcast, but with, go back to your LinkedIn, go back to your contacts on your iPhone. This is the time to call old friends or acquaintances and talk with them and see how you can help them. It's always important to come from a place of sharing and helping and not necessarily just taking. So I think if you have that mindset during this time, capitalize on that.
And I guess putting yourself out there matters even more now that we are stuck at home. Last question before we turn it into the QA, and we want the audience to ask questions. I saw there are a bunch of people. Today is a popular show. Lots of people on Facebook, lots of people on Zoom. Fire up your questions. Itay, what keeps you up at night these days?
Every day it's a new thing. It's not like a one thing that keeps me up at night. Yesterday, I think I watched, I'm usually finishing work around 11:30 p.m. And then I let myself watch Netflix for like 30 minutes. And yesterday I watched a really stupid show on Netflix about Penn and Teller, magicians. And it was so bad that I got really angry and I couldn't sleep. So that's for yesterday, for example, right? What keeps me out at night in terms of like the startup life, every day it's a new problem I am taking. Right now we're looking for a lead tech developer to join the team. So I get a lot of CVs, a lot of, applications, talking with with companies that are doing development, trying to find the right one. The other day, we had a crucial bug, which someone that's a popular YouTuber that is using Vanywhere got 500 messages on the same day because he posted it on his Instagram, and the app crashes for him, right? So that's definitely something that kept me up until we figure it out. So it's not a thing that keeps me up every night. It's every day it's something new. So I don't know what it will be today, but I'm definitely not watching that Penn and Teller show again.
And out of curiosity, Itay, how do you get these top creators join Vanywhere?
First of all, we offer them value, right? By using us, we streamline a process for them. So they don't have to share their personal contact info, which is very valuable to them. They don't have to negotiate prices, collect payments. So they see the value. And then, you know, the creators we already have might refer another creators or will reach out to them or things of that sort. So first of all, what we do is provide value up front, let them know what it is. And they see it because they know the pain points.
Nice. And for our guests, I'm still waiting for questions. I know they're typing so fast and the questions are so detailed that it's taking time. But in the meantime, I just want to point out the QR codes you see to my left and to Itay's left. You can learn more about either of us. You can just scan it with your phone. I'm also going to share the link in a moment, but I'm going to let Colin ask a question if he has one.
I will. Yeah. Thanks, Reza. And again, in the intro, I have to put a slide in there because I keep forgetting to say this. Of course, we want this to be interactive. We want this to be engaging. So if you have any questions, just put them out there, put them in chat, put them in the Q&A. And if you have anything, and I actually just asked you all, you have any questions for Itay in regards to Vanywhere or what he's doing? I just love, well, Itay, let me ask you this. I love the fact you touched on community building. I know this really ties into what we're going to talk to Liza about also. But I'd love to hear more about how you found with the kind of the connections, not just that you're making, but also on the platform there, the spike that you've seen. And then after that, we do have one question that someone's just asked here from Simon. So maybe you could talk about how the platform has changed or morphed or spiked a little bit since COVID-19.
Yeah, so basically, just to give the people who don't know a bit more info, using Vanywhere, basically we allow fans to connect with their favorite creators in live one-on-one, video, voice, or chat. So it's completely personalized for them. They get to talk with someone who they are following for years on social media and to support them in the same time. So, you know, the natural thing we saw where people are stuck at home is that they are looking for additional solutions, even for entertainment. And we provide one of them. Even some of the Twitch streamers who are live streaming on Vanywhere were taking Vanywhere calls while they were live streaming on Twitch. So you can pay for someone, you can donate for someone to support them and to interact with them and also being a part of their Twitch stream, which is now watched by thousands of people, maybe. So it's a clear value proposition for them, and a lot of people get really excited talking with their favorite creators, pretty much.
Itay, we have a question from Simon. Simon asks, how do you stay on top of your business metrics? He's asking if you're consolidating all your metrics into one place like Google Analytics, or are you going to different sources?
Yeah, currently I'm using pretty much Google Analytics, which is based on Firebase. This is our backend. So we get all of the usage metrics from there. And then in terms of projections and things going forward, all is based on the results we already have and is implemented into a projection spreadsheet.
So your financial data is separate than your usage metrics?
Yeah, but it is based on those.
Got it. You can also jump in the chat and give him more detail. I think you can bring him some value.
For sure.
Ben is also asking you a question, but I'm going to let Colin move on to our next guest. We want to be mindful of time. But Itay, I would let you jump on the chat.
Okay.
Good stuff. Thanks, Itay, and thank you, Reza. And Ben, if we have a couple minutes at the back end of this, we will ask your questions. So keep those questions coming. Please do that. So yes, I want to switch over to our second guest today with Liza Pelzer, who is the co-owner of Hot Yoga 101 Vancouver. So Liza, first, welcome to What Keeps You Up at Night. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you. Thanks. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. See, I'm used to talking to you actually virtually with you barking at me to actually, keep that knee locked and Colin, come on, do this and do that. So it's nice.
Get up, Colin.
I know. Hey, come on now. So to get us started here, Liza, could you give us a brief history or backstory of Hot Yoga 101, which was Bikram Yoga before, over the last 15 years or so that you've been involved, leading up to and stopping at, let's say, 2 months ago, when you had to radically quickly change with COVID-19. So just give us a quick backstory.
Yeah, so we opened up in 1999. So what is that, over 20 years?
Yeah.
And about 7 years ago, we were originally Bikram Yoga. And then after the big Bikram scandal, we basically split from him. But we loved the series. So we had to kind of reformat the series from 90 minutes to 1 hour class. And we've been doing great the last 7 years, just growing the business, spreading the power of yoga, really. It's a wonderful series, very therapeutic, and just really helpful with stress and, with life.
Absolutely. Well, I could be a living testament to that. I've known you and practiced for quite a few years at your studio at City Square at Cambie and Broadway. Cambie and 12th, where you are. Okay, so that's where you were. And I've been following you guys for a while. And I know you weren't really, how can I put it nicely? It'd be kind of harsh to say you were a bunch of Luddites, that you were not really technically savvy, but you weren't really doing a lot, whether it was even social media or even just the way you were connecting with technology with what you were doing there, even though you were building community. So I was very surprised, happily so, to see only in a couple of weeks when you had to shut down the studio that then you were doing virtual classes. So can you tell us how that came about, what you started to do and the partnerships you formed and how you actually wrapped your head around that to be able to convert over to keep your business alive very quickly?
Yeah, actually we were very lucky. We basically worked on word of mouth, and we were kind of bit maybe lazy with the whole social media thing. And we've been kind of wanting to go in that direction. And really this COVID thing has just kind of forced us in this new direction. So within a week of closing, I was noticing another studio teaching virtual classes. So we just got right on it. And I mean, that's one thing with my partner and I and my team. We really move quickly and we're able to really just, I think we work well under stress.
It's the yoga.
Yeah, we're able to be, I think it kind of has brought out the creativity, and we see actually a new market with the virtual classes.
I love this. And just like we're finding doing virtual events now as compared to the physical ones we were doing before that were limited to the size of the space and also the proximity that people can physically get there. Yeah. Now you can, just like we're doing here, you're open to the whole province, the whole country, the whole world. Yeah. So you probably don't consider yourself as an entrepreneur, but I truly consider yourself and Danny and the other parts of the team there, the fact that you have pivoted, using that P word there, and how you actually have quickly changed things around there in order to keep the business alive, rather than just hunkering down and just hoping and praying that it would be months or very quickly that you could open up back to the way things were. The fact you just were very proactive, and it comes down to partnerships. I know with mind body, so you didn't just try to create this from zero with yourself. So perhaps talk about that a little bit, what you're doing and how you're partnering with mind body in order to make all this happen for you. Well,
actually the technical side, I don't really do that. So my partners take care of that. I'm kind of mainly into the teaching.
Yeah.
But we made it happen. We operate through Zoom. We use Mind Body Online, so basically people can register for classes. Does that answer your question?
It does. And what I love about this is the fact that, and all entrepreneurs, no matter what you're doing, whether it's tech, non-tech, just starting or already established, is looking for help, looking for partners of that you can then collaborate and build this together. So without having Mind Body, you'd probably still be looking around of not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
So that's what you did in the transition. What have you done now? And it's really timely because something kind of awesome happened yesterday. What happened yesterday, Lisa?
Well, we opened for the first time since March 16th. We had we have about 3 classes a day. Yesterday, we had like a 6 a.m. and an 11:30 and a 4:30. It went well. Of course, yesterday we saw, a quarter, maybe a third of the people that we would normally see in a day. The final class of the day, we also have incorporated the live virtual class into one of our classes during the day. So our online students are able to participate as well. And actually, we had equal numbers in the virtual class and live class.
Interesting. And I like the fact that you're maintaining this hybrid model now, that you're not just going back to the studio and saying, well, forget about the virtual thing. That was just kind of this stopgap measure. That now you're seeing value that you're able to unlock, so you can actually do both of them. So can you tell us quite quickly here, since I haven't been in the studio yet, so we've been talking about this leading up to this. How have you the physical design, because now you need more space, whereas before we were all crammed in there and getting all sweaty with each other. So what have you done in order to make everybody safe, and also combining that with making sure that the experience for your students is still inviting and welcoming and the quality? So how are you balancing that?
Yeah, I mean, we spent a couple weeks basically cleaning up the studio, removing pillows and just pieces of furniture, just really clearing out the space, roping off the showers, turning off the water in a couple of our sinks so that we can maintain social distancing. Change rooms have a limited amount of people that are allowed in each time, men's and women's. We have students line up outside and then they come in one at a time to sign in. We have like a plexiglass for the front desk. Between the student and the front desk, we have reduced the size of the classes from 60 to about 28. We used a computer and basically could figure out the amount of spaces that we could maximize. We've cordoned off a square or a rectangle for each person and numbered the spots. So each person is allocated a number.
Yeah, I saw that. I was just on your Instagram this morning and saw you've posted some videos up there. I think there's 4 of them, and actually it runs very nicely through kind of the steps that people need and the procedures and what it was like for the experience before and during and after the class. And you've done a really great job with that. So I look forward to being in the studio very soon to experience that myself. I'm going to do a virtual class later on today. But before we do that, we're going to finish up here. And I want to ask Reza, because I'm watching the chat feed. I see some questions. But Reza, I see there's questions both for Lisa and Itay. So maybe you can jump in and ask some questions here, Reza.
I love the energy today. We've got so many questions firing up one after the other. I'm going to start off with Irma. I really like the question. I would like to know, what are the core values of your company and how did you build them for both Lisa and Itay?
So Lisa, why don't we start with you?
The core values of our company, I would say, core value. Taking care of our customers, our students. I consider our clients as students. I'm kind of a traditional yogi, I guess. And just maintaining integrity in the practice of yoga, a fair price, a good service, friendliness, just connection with our people, and it's really warm environment, I think, and we really strive for that. And quality, just maintaining good teaching, quality, I would say that's
Itay, what about you?
Our value is to make anyone reachable. Basically, we are connecting. It's also about connections in the end of the day, about networking, about connecting people. But what we really allow is to reach anyone, right? And interact with them, everyone. It doesn't matter if you're in Tokyo, if you're big, or if you're small, if you're in Vancouver, in Tel Aviv, you can connect today. So this is our core value.
So I'm going to ask guests to stick around if possible. We've got so many questions. If you can jump in the chat and ask and answer a few questions. Our audience quite like this show. They're especially Lisa. You've got quite a bit of question about yoga.
Oh, cool.
You already answered Eric's question in terms of procedures. One last question. I'm gonna jump in there. Simon says what keeps him up at night is the metrics and financials and all those data. Lisa, do you have that problem, or how are you managing projections and financial and metrics with your business?
Well, I think what I saw yesterday was the reality that this is going to be a long road and a hard road, actually, especially when you have expensive rents and you need an actual space, Thank goodness we have the virtual platform that we're able to take advantage of and grow. But I'm seeing that for us to actually make it, we're going to need help. We're going to need community support. Just to keep trying to grow the numbers and have our students come back.
And I like Simon's question. I'm with you, Simon, in terms of in COVID, sometimes numbers are not adding up. So I'm one of those person that my spreadsheet is in front of me. I'm keep trying to figure out, am I doing the right thing? Is the numbers adding up? And it quickly messes everything prior COVID you planned. All of a sudden things are not adding up in COVID. So you've got to be on top of it. So I like Simon's question. I'm going to hand it to Colin. But before that, I asked the guests to stick around. There are so many questions in the chat box. Jump in there and engage with the audience, please.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can keep going forever. I know, Lisa, I wanted to ask you just as far as some government grants and the lease and all that, but we can answer that afterwards and continue on. This could easily be an hour and a half show with both of our guests here. There's lots to dig in here, but we're almost at the top of the hour, so we will wrap it up. So as I promised, or threatened, depends on how you want to look at this, I will do my shout out as I do with every single episode of the show.
It's worth it every single time.
Oh, no pressure here. I guess I better clear my throat here this time. So we do have 3 donations from this week, and I will acknowledge those fabulous people that have donated for jack.org. And it goes a little bit like this. Nice donation by you. Jack.org says, thank you. You are awesome, Charles Gauthier, Maryam Mobini, and Michelle Martin. Nice donation by you. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Awesome.
There we go. Thank you, everybody. So I will turn it over to Reza to wrap up the show for us today.
Thank you for being with us. Another Tuesday, another What Keeps You Up at Night show with your host, Colin, Weston, and Reza V. Every Tuesday, I'm the co-host, and every Thursday, Maryam Mobini is the co-host. Twice a week, we have this amazing show, very quick type of interview, asking questions from our guests, but keeps them up at night. And I encourage you to join us next week.
There we go. So if you want to stick around, I think our guests hopefully can stick around for a couple minutes. I'm going to stop recording. So I'm going to say goodbye too, but stick around if you want. And we'll talk to you soon. We'll see y'all on Thursday.